James Gunn's hopeful Superman with David Corenswet is the perfectly contrasting yet fitting world for Robert Pattinson's Batman to cross over. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has the perfect opportunity to introduce Batman to the DCU. Matt Reeves' much-anticipated The Batman. Part 2 has reportedly been delayed by another year and will be released in 2027. As the DCU gears up for its big screen debut, with Superman releasing next year, a crossover with Robert Pattinson's Batman may do the DCU a lot of good. Reeves has maintained that his Batman's epic crime saga is an Elseworld project that is separate from the DCU. Some are of the opinion that Reeves' grounded and gritty Gotham is too different to believably cross over to Gunn's Superman, which seems to be going more into the comic book fantasy realm. However, that might be the perfect reason for them to cross over. The DCU has its Superman in David Corenswet, but it is yet to recruit its Caped Crusader. James Gunn announced the DCU slate back in 2023 with a proper plan. He mentioned that the first chapter of the DCU would focus on gods and monsters, with films on Superman, Clayface, the Brave and the Bold, the Authority, and Supergirl being announced. The DCU began officially this year with the Max series Creature Commandos. Earlier this month, Gunn also released the first teaser trailer for Superman, with Corenswet leading. Focusing on a younger Superman, the trailer showed a glimpse at the DCU world, which already has multiple superheroes and cosmic kaiju ready to attack Metropolis. There has never been a more obvious contrast to Matt Reeves' The Batman and its slate of films and shows, which recently expanded with the Penguin. While a crossover between these two entities in a world's finest adaptation might be far from reality, fans believe that the contrasting imagery might just be perfect for the DCU. Robert Pattinson's Batman is also a younger hero who has just begun his vigilante activities. Despite the raw and gritty Gotham might not fit into the cosmically ballistic world of Gunn's Metropolis. However, this contrast itself may just be the perfect metaphor for a crossover. One film that was announced as part of the first chapter of the DCU was a Batman film titled The Brave and the Bold, which would explore the Caped Crusader's relationship with Damian Wayne and the Bat family. Andy Muschietti is set to direct the film, although it is still reportedly in development and does not have a strict timeline. With Matt Reeves' The Batman, Part 2 now delayed to 2027, it is doubtful that WB and DC Studios would want two competing Batman titles released close to each other. Gunn definitely would want the DCU's Batman to be considered as seriously as Reeves, despite the seniority, but it would be confusing for the audience if the timelines were too close. A crossover between Robert Pattinson's current Elseworld Batman with David Corenswet's DCU Superman might just be the best idea, and it is not just the fans who think so. James Gunn said in the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast that he had contemplated Pattinson's role in the DCU. He said, "I've contemplated it, yeah. I contemplate everything. I talk about everything. I'd be an idiot not to think of how can this go, or how can this go, but I'm committed to both telling stories in the DCU and telling Elseworld stories." He mentioned that it was ultimately Matt Reeves' choice to keep his Batman separate from the DCU. It might be a good choice too, as Reeves' increasingly street-level world is a welcome change. Jason Momoa becomes the first DCU actor to enter the DCU, but if Pattinson remains outside the DCU, of Lobo, it might take longer for Batman to enter Gunn's universe. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Jason Momoa might have had a lukewarm run as the king of Atlantis Arthur Curry/Aquaman, but he is back to essay a DC character that seems to fit him a little bit more snugly. Momoa will be entering the DCU, essaying the role of the main man himself, Lobo. As reported by comicbook.com, the Sea Alum will be a part of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow's cast, which is going to star Millie Alcock as the titular Kryptonian cousin of Superman. By being cast as Lobo, Jason Momoa has set a precedent for the DCU and DCU. While there are actors from the DCU that have made their way into the DCU, like Viola Davis's Amanda Waller and John Cena's Peacemaker, there is no actor from the DCU who has been recast in a new role in the DCU. There were a lot of people who were sure that this would be the case for the entire main cast of the DC Extended Universe, but Gunn himself squashed those rumors. By allowing Jason Momoa to enter the DCU as Lobo, James Gunn might have blown the casting choices for the DCU wide open. Fans are now openly speculating which of the original DCU cast could find another role in James Gunn's DCU. However, Momoa seems uniquely suited to playing Lobo, given the actor's comments. In a 2023 interview, Jason Momoa revealed how obsessed he had been with Lobo when he was younger. He said, "I used to collect comics, and I don't do so much anymore, but Lobo was always my favorite. And I've always wanted to play Lobo." Lobo is one of the few characters that are considered to be the strongest characters in the DCU, being an unholy mix of Wolverine, Superman, and Deadpool. However, given that Momoa has the correct look for the character and is ridiculously well cast in the role, the actor could see himself getting a solo project in a La Peacemaker ASAP. Given that there are already shows like Lanterns, which might look into more cosmic threats, Lobo has the opportunity to make a slew of appearances in the DCU. An animated series that follows the main man across to the DCU could be a fun world-building project in the DC universe, which could be used to tell a great story and set up the wider universe. Superman. Woman of Tomorrow hits theaters on June 26, 2026. Superman is set to bring in a range of side characters who can also be expected to play a major role in the upcoming DCU, including Gardner. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie is set to introduce Nathan Fillion as Gardner, a Green Lantern with a controversial comic book past. While fans are eager to see Fillion's interpretation of the character, questions arise about how the DCU will navigate Gardner's problematic history, including moments that reflect poorly on his character, even within the canon of the comics. This, unfortunately, includes the one instance when Gardner was seen, at least momentarily, considering RA*****G a knockdown Power Girl. While highly unlikely that any interpretation of this scene will make its way to Superman, the fact that Gardner is in fact part of the movie is bound to raise concern. Gardner's history in DC Comics is marked by moments that many fans and critics find deeply problematic. One of the most troubling instances comes from JLA. Classified number 7, part of the 6-issue arc, I Can't Believe It's Not the Justice League, where Gardner, albeit briefly, considers S***Zuli assaulting Power Girl. While the moment was fleeting, it is undoubtedly a stain on the character often seen as a superhero. The particular scene even brought forth a debate on Reddit, even if James Gunn may never end up including such a scene in the new DCU. Of course, Nathan Fillion, previously seen in projects such as Lost and The Rookie, undoubtedly has the range to pull off such a layered character. However, even his charm and energy will struggle to overcome the darker